It's prom season, and after getting the perfect dress, you want to make sure your makeup reflects your style. Joining us today is makeup artist Dee Dee Nickel to show us how to get the perfect look. Welcome back to the show. It's great to have you here.
Thank you. Always happy to be here.
So, Dee Dee, what are we seeing for prom season in the makeup department?
For the spring season and prom season, it's all about color, and it's bright pops of color on the lips or the eyes, and pastels are really big too. So, gone are the neutrals. We're not doing the hard smoky eye anymore. We're keeping it really bright and fresh.
Colorful, I like that.
Colorful.
Now, do you want to match the dress, or does it depend on kind of your, what type of skin you have?
Sure, you can take inspiration from the dress. I don't think you want to be too matchy-matchy because that sometimes looks a little silly. But you should really take into account your eye color. So you want something that contrasts with your natural eye color. So brown eyes look great in pastel blue and green, which is really fun. And if you have blue or green eyes, you want to choose something that's maybe more like a bright pink or a plum. So something that has some contrast.
I love that. So what do we have here on our first model?
So we went with green. She's got gorgeous brown eyes, right? And so I did a pastel green, and you want to keep the color kind of tight to the lid. You don't want the pastel all the way up here, all the way to the brow bone. So we kept it just on her lid. I mean, this is the simplest look. You can see I used a darker liner right along her lash line.
And that's a green liner, right? Yeah.
It's just a darker green. So if you're using a pink, use like maybe a plum liner or something like that, something that's complementary. And you'll see I did a thicker line here. Or if you're just a little unsure about wearing so much color, just keep it really tight to the lash line like we did right here.
All right.
The other thing I did just to kind of blend it out, so you can take like a white, and everything's a shimmer. I know everybody at prom season wants a little shimmer.
Sure.
So you can just do a little highlight under your brow bone and blend, make sure you don't have any edges. And the other thing you can do with this white shimmer shadow is give yourself a little highlight
I like
in the
that
cheek.
idea.
Yeah. So you don't need something special. I know a lot of people want to run out and buy, a shimmer powder, egg glitter,
sure.
exactly. Just use like a white or maybe a peach-colored eyeshadow right there.
Looks fantastic. Now, did you color in her brows a little bit? Or
I did. I filled in her brows, and that always frames the eye. So take a look, just fill in where there are sparse areas. You don't want to look like you've colored them in.
Sure.
Yeah, and then on her, I just kept the lip really soft because the focus is really on her eyes.
Well, really, that's what I'm looking at. You go right to the eyes.
Yeah, and that's where you want people to look anyway, right?
That's very true.
Yeah, so that's her look.
Fantastic. And what do we have on Rebecca over here?
Okay, so I'm going to trade sides.
I will too, actually.
So, as we talked about, she has a pastel eye too. I used pink and plums because that contrasts with her eye color, but really you'll see on this side the difference where I'm going to show you how to elevate your look a little bit with false lashes.
I find these so difficult to apply. Okay. I'm so glad you're here to give us all a lesson.
Okay, so I have some tricks, and the first one is I just use one lash and I cut it in half. It's going to look really natural. It's going to give you that nice sweep at the outer corner. It's going to open up your eyes in photos, which everyone's having their photo taken right on prom night.
So you cut the lash in half, so you get more bang for your buck there, don't you?
Exactly. So one that looks like this, we'll just cut it in half with like little manicure scissors or something like that. The other key is obviously you need the glue, but you should look for the dark glue. If you can find it, it comes in clear and it comes in dark.
Well, probably blends a little better, right? With the lash line?
Yeah. Exactly. So we'll do that.
And a little goes a long way with that glue, doesn't it?
Yes. Yeah, I won't even need all this. So here's the key, and it's inexpensive. It's called a bobby pin.
Okay. So easy to find.
Exactly. Open up your bobby pin, put a little glue right there, and you're going to get it right on the top of the edge of the lash.
Okay.
Okay, here we go. Close for me. All right, so get it right there at the edge.
So ultimately, you should be able to do this yourself, right?
Yeah, exactly. That's the idea, right?
The idea.
And then just kind of touch the lash line, kind of push it down into the lash line with the clean side of the bobby pin. And look up for me. And there we have it. We've got it on the other side.
That.
Yeah, so we'll just let it dry, and then you can just
then
mascara.
You're going to put mascara over that?
Yeah, we'll just put mascara over it. So easy.
Now, where do you find the lashes?
I buy them. You don't need to spend a lot of money on lashes. You can definitely buy them in the department stores, but I buy them in the drugstore. They shouldn't cost you more than $3 to5 for a set.
And then you really just wear them once, when you say?
Yeah, just wear them once, and then you'll have, if you're cutting one in half, you've got one for graduation night or for your birthday or whatever it is. So you kind of get 2 for 1. So that's good. And then the other trend for prom and for spring is bright lips.
Okay.
So if you're not comfortable doing a bright eye, try a bright lip.
But probably don't do both.
Don't do both.
One or the other.
Don't do both. Don't do both. Unless you're really, really brave and you're not really concerned about your photos, right?
Got it.
But yeah, so bright pink, and this look is actually kind of reminiscent of that retro look that we saw a lot on the red carpet.
Okay.
I've just used pale colors instead. So I went with a bright pink lip instead of a bright red, but you could do even an orange or a tangerine. Tangerine is actually one of the hottest colors for the season.
Okay. Now, Dee Dee, where can people find you?
I'm on State Street right here in New Haven. 972 State Street, and then my website is ddnickel.com, so
Very
they can
good.
find me there too.
Sounds fantastic. Ladies, you're all set for the rest of the day. I love it. All right, coming up next on Connecticut Style, well, there's a whole lot more. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.